Hello! Today I'm doing a tutorial on the absolute core basics of AutoCAD 2018. Hopefully this helps you out, let me know. Alright, so here you can see we're on the home screen. To open a new drawing, we're going to go ahead and go up here and click the new drawing button. You can also alternatively use the file drop down menu to create a new drawing, but I find it much faster for my workflow to just use the little plus tab. Now let's talk about the basics of how AutoCAD kind of works. In order to pan around your drawing, press mouse 3. You do this by holding down the scroll wheel and moving the mouse accordingly. And you'll scroll around. Click and hold, that is. Lets you kind of pan around your view. Now, AutoCAD works on a set of axes. You have the x-axis and the y-axis. X being left and right, Y being up and down, or at least from this view, north, east, south, and west. Now, the x-axis is almost identical to a number line. The further you go right, the higher the number, the further you go left, the lower. This also means that the x value can go into the negatives. Now this box here, with the x and y surrounding it, is known as the UCS origin, or Universal Coordinate System origin. It's basically where every single axis value is equal to exactly 0. Now, if you were to go 100 units to the right of the UCS origin, the x value would become 100. Keeping in line with our number line analogy, if you were to go 100 units to the left, the x value would become negative 100. The exact same logic applies to the y-axis. Just imagine that from point 0, the number line's being rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. Higher, higher number, lower, lower number. So now let's get into the first, most simple tool, being the line tool. Now the line tool can be engaged by clicking the button up here on the ribbon. However, there's a much faster and much more professional way of doing it. So to cancel any command, you want to press escape. Instead of using the ribbon, we're going to make sure we have our workspace active and selected and do the following. We're going to type the L key and then hit spacebar. This has now activated the line command. Now that we've started the line command, we need to know where to start our line from. Now, as we're defining this first point, we can now see in the first box the actual live value of x and the live value of y in the second box. So if we were to follow my analogy before of a number line, you can see clearly that in the first box, the further right we go, the higher the number becomes, whereas the further left, the lower the number becomes. Therefore, it's safe to assume that the first box is representing our position on the x-axis, and the second box is representing our position on the y-axis. Now, we want to create our line starting at the UCS origin, so we're going to type 0, then press Tab to change to the other box, then press 0 again, and hit Enter. Now, we can see that this has worked perfectly because the line starts from right inside the box, which means it's at 0x and 0y. Now we're going to create a box that's 1000 units by 1000 units, and it's going to be an exact 90 degree on every corner. Essentially, we're creating a perfect square. First, we need to specify the length of the line that's going to make the base of our square. So we're going to type 1000. Now we press tab, and the length will lock in. As you can see, the angle's still free to move as it pleases, but the length of the line itself is static. So far, we've defined where we want our line to start, and how far we want it to travel from where it starts. But we haven't defined what direction it's going to travel from the starting point. For this we need to specify the angle. As we want a straight line, we're going to go ahead and type 0 and hit enter for an angle of 0 degrees or a perfect straight horizontal line going to the right. Now, as you might have noticed, the line commands continued. This is going to keep going until we hit escape. Don't hit escape quite yet because I've got some other stuff to show you first. We're going to go ahead and enable the orthographic mode. We press F8, now the line's direction is going to strictly follow either the X or the Y axis in a positive or negative manner. There's no such thing as a 15 degree angle or a 25 degree angle in ortho mode. If we press F8 again, we toggle it off, as you can see. Leave it toggled on and go up. Now that we're in orthographic mode, it's going to be pretty easy for us to make our 1000 unit long, perfectly straight vertical line. Now in order to get our line, all we have to do is move our cursor above where our new line is starting, and it will automatically snap to the 90 degree angle that we want. Now all we simply do is type 1000 and press enter. Awesome. And you'll also notice we don't have to be anywhere near the point we're actually aiming for. We could be all the way here, but providing it is snapping at 180 degrees, it will work just fine. Now, if you've made any mistakes at all, Control Z, that's going to go back to your last point. Now type 1000 once again. You're right on the money. And here's a really cool shortcut that'll save you a lot of time, especially with more complex geometry. If you just type C and press enter, it'll close the shape for you. For instance, if I were to go like this, instead of trying to figure out exactly what distance this is, I could just press C and hit enter. Boom, we're done. If you want to select a bunch of lines within an area, within a square, you're going to left click on empty space, drag over with the marquee, that's the name of this little box selection, and then left click again. You'll select everything within, lines, polylines, all the other complicated stuff you're going to learn in the future. If you would like to delete the stuff that you've selected, or even a single thing you've selected, just press the delete key. So now I want you to go ahead and try and make an 800 by 800 box within this square that looks like this. Alright, I'm going to let you have a go at that. Go ahead and pause the video and give that a shot. And come back to the video if you hit a dead end or if you reckon you've got it. Alright, awesome. So you very well may have stuffed it up, and that's perfectly fine. AutoCAD is not the easiest thing to learn in the world. So here is how I went about doing it. So I pressed L to engage the little program selection bit, and then I hit space for line. Then I typed 100, pressed tab, and then typed 100 again. Now the reason it's 100 and not 200 for the 800 by 800 square is because you're needing to leave 100 space on both sides of the square, which means it's 200 total. So 1000 minus 200 being 800. So now if I type 800 with this F8 orthographic tool still enabled, it's going to get me to right there. Remembering the fact F8 toggles on and off this orthographic feature. So I'm going to turn it back on, type 800, 800, and then I'm going to press C and enter. Alright, cool. So that's some of the basics of CAD down pat. That's how you can draw a line, draw a box. Now, if I do continue this series, in the next lesson I'm going to cover circles and polylines. So look out for that. Now, if you thought this video was a steaming pile of garbage, maybe an adequate pile of garbage, or even a good video, then go ahead and let me know in the comments or on my Twitter, @DrTex. And if you want to see some more stuff, stay tuned. Alright, thanks again, and peace. Now, if you're a part of the very small cross-section of the community that watches my videos and also has Bitcoin, then any donations to help me pay off my engineering course would be really, really super appreciated. It would mean a lot to me. Alright, have a good one.